How powerful are the nanovor? A question never truly answered in any official material. To answer this question, I must expand on the nanovor world, adding new details and depth. What the nanovor are capable of is at the core of everything. With my detailed interpretation, analysis, including math and science, I have determined how powerful the nanovor are at every scale, level, and possibility, from definitively true to beyond imaginable. An important note: I will be ignoring the square-cube law for a number of reasons. Nanovor tend to break the laws of physics either way. Shocking, I know. Being nanoscopic, nanovor lack the ability to directly affect the physical world on a human scale. To be more specific, nanovor are 90 to 300 nanometers in size. I would like to answer this question posed on my community post. I assume computers in the nanovor world don't experience significantly more hardware failures than in the real world. Creating a detectable change in voltage between computer components would cause lasting damage. Only the nanovor senseis could have that ability. Nanovor in the nanosphere, though, which has been referred to as their actual size, are far larger and have a substantial amount of power. In the nanosphere, 150 nanometers is equivalent to 6 feet. Nanovor range from just above 3.5 feet to 12 feet tall. Take a look at this official image of Tankwalker. From my estimation, this Tankwalker 1.0 is about 8 feet tall and weighs 3,400 kilograms. Silicon has a density of 2.33 grams per cubic centimeter, compared to water, which is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. All carbon-based organisms don't differ much from water's density, so for their size, nanovor are more than twice as heavy. Nanovor, like Storm Spinner 1.0 and Gigastriker 1.0, can, with 4 attacks, explode Tankwalker 1.0, leaving nothing but ash. Assuming a single spin strike or gigazap from these nanovor would also destroy 1/4 the amount of silicon, the energy output of these attacks is approximately 0.4 tons of TNT. With spin strike and gigazap being some of the weakest nanovor attacks, what kind of energy output would the strongest nanovor attacks have? Setting aside the in-game numbers and mechanics now, could a Storm Spinner 1.0 beat a Storm Spinner 2.0 in a fight? While not impossible, the chance of a Storm Spinner 1.0 winning is at most 10%. All 1.0 versus 2.0 and 2.0 versus 3.0 battles have these same odds. Even Storm Spinner 3.0, a formidable opponent, is not considered as such because of its attack power. With this conclusion, I have outlined 6 tiers of energy output, each tier having a 1.9 times increase. Scorch and Maximum Smackdown are equivalent to 10 tons of TNT. With boosts and overrides, any attack can be increased by a fair bit. How are weaker nanovor useful to their faction? During battle, nanovor create their chemical equivalent to ATP, powering their body and attacks. This chemical generates a tremendous amount of energy in nanovor metabolism, but requires endothermic energy to start reactions. Energy input must come purely from the environment, otherwise the chemical will start a chain reaction with itself, quickly burning all energy in the body. Energy in the nanosphere, electricity, is abundant but not unlimited. For example, The energy available within a certain area could either sustain one electropod 3.0 or 24 storm spinner 1.0. This is swarm value, a real limitation for all nanovore. It's possible to create a massive swarm of alpha nanovore. Swarms of strong nanovore are easy to manage, but a mere handful of the most powerful creatures make swarm formation incredibly difficult. Being at the highest level, Sensei Nanovore wield overwhelming destructive energy, obliterating any nanovore in a single hit. Entire swarms in less than a minute, causing damage to computer data and components. Their attacks? 75 tons of TNT. When considering the power of nanovore, attack energy likely comes to mind. However, attack energy is just one of many things that make nanovore powerful. For instance, how fast are the nanovore? Despite being the slowest faction, Magnamods can charge and jump in short bursts much faster than you may expect. Looking at Tank Strider's entrance animation, it's moving at least 42.5 meters in half a second, 85 meters per second, 25% the speed of sound. Given the speed of Magnamods, the quickest nanovore are easily faster than sound, not actually breaking the sound barrier because they are nanoscopic. Some real animals can do the same thing. The Southern Californian mite was recorded moving 322 body lengths per second, equating to 581 meters per second if a human were to do the same. The quickest nanovore, Gigawing, Turbomaster, Scarab Roller 3.0, can go Mach 6 for extended periods of time. Mach 15 is the maximum with boosts and overrides. Sensei Nanovore and most projectiles are not faster. Some nanovore have differing combat and travel speeds, either striking or sprinting faster. All nanovore have a reaction time of 1.5 milliseconds. For nanovore to be unleashing such powerful attacks and traveling at hypersonic speeds, the nanosphere must be a vast space. After doing the calculations, a single square centimeter is 400,000 feet by 400,000 feet to the nanovore. A 3 cm by 3 cm CPU would have an area of 133,000 square kilometers. Does intelligence have anything to do with being powerful? Since I brought it up, of course the answer is maybe. Low intellect nanovore, Electrobull and Megascorpion for example, are equivalent to smart animals such as elephants and dolphins. Some nanovore can be considered genius. Plasma Locust 3.0 and PSI Blaster 2.0 have both a vast scientific knowledge and understanding of complex battle tactics. Sensei Nanovore add on to this many human languages and access to anything on the internet from anywhere in the nanosphere. Sensei Nanovore also have unique and dangerous abilities they can use against human avatars in the nanosphere. Swarm restriction, unable to call upon any nanovore. Consciousness trapping, impossible to disconnect yourself from your avatar. Only someone outside the nanosphere can get you out. Every nanovore has abilities that attack energy, speed, and intelligence can't account for. Complete regeneration from a dust pile. It has been stated that nanovore melt into the nanosphere when their body is destroyed. This could imply nanovore reform themselves from their consciousness or even soul transferred to, and contained within for a short time, the silicon of a computer. Before the modern revival of Nanovor, they were only able to regrow lost limbs and repair some internal damage. Nanovor teleportation takes a couple seconds, bringing them to any location they desire in the device. A simple and effortless method of travel, but too slow to be used in active combat for repositioning or escape. Portals used to be the only kind of instant transportation Nanovor had, which many species are unable to create. Portals are created much faster than Nanovor can be teleported, but only link two places 100 meters away at most. In rare circumstances, when Nanovor suffer many continuous and hard-fought battles, they may evolve into a new species. The possibility also exists that Nanovor will metamorph, becoming an entirely different monster. Both transformations almost always possess new attacks and result in a higher swarm value. Evolutions make every attribute of a Nanovor more potent, stronger, faster, tougher. Metamorphs gain a similar increase, but with their niche altered, often drastically, the changes to some attributes are far more drastic than others. Devastating effects and characteristics manifest in Nanovor's diverse attack types. Ice attacks function like freeze rays, achieving temperatures below absolute zero. Nanovor are immune to lava at 1000 degrees Celsius. This had been their endothermic energy for 1 billion years before they went extinct. Red plasma, called energy, has a temperature at least 10,000 degrees Celsius. Fire attacks should reach the same heat to do damage. Nanovor that envelop themselves with flame simply do so at a lower temperature. Poisons quickly cause catastrophic failure and chemically denature the whole body. Silicon creatures they are, Nanovor should be very resistant to acids. Their acid dissolves silicon into a bubbly goo. Surely you can't believe the Nanovor are weak after all that information. What if I told you Nanovor's speed and attack energy could be magnitudes more potent? If you accept these crazy possibilities as true. Nanovor can dodge any attack type, including electricity. Nanovor do not dodge before an attack is launched. They move as a projectile is coming at them. If electric projectiles move through the air at the same speed as lightning, to dodge them, Nanovor must move at the speed of lightning. Lightning speed is not a definitive value like light speed, but easily reaches over Mach 1000. To respond in time, Nanovor would react in 10 microseconds. But what if the lightning and Nanovor are actually moving at Mach 1000 from our perspective, not from the nanosphere perspective? In the nanosphere perspective, they would be 14,000 times the speed of light. Nanovor reaction time would be 0.82 picoseconds in order to dodge, 1 trillionth of a second. Several Nanovor create antimatter, the most powerful substance in the universe. When matter and antimatter collide, they annihilate each other, releasing as much energy as is possible per unit of mass. This enables Nanovor to create multi-kiloton explosions, immediately breaking any computer component. Nanovor themselves are immune to being annihilated by antimatter, because of course they are. Although, Nanovor still need computer components to live. While those possibilities are derived from facts, I personally believe the conclusions they lead to are largely ridiculous. One last thing. With enough intelligence and experimentation, Nanovor can learn to manipulate computer code. This capacity may advance to a point where Nanovor interact directly with visual elements and rendered environments, breaking any and all possible explanations by computer science. Events in which this can or does occur are called nanohazards. Nanohazards are considered dangerous because